Lawmakers are home for the holidays, but one source tells NBC News that House Ethics Committee staffers will convene today. The panel was investigating sexual misconduct allegations against Gaetz that included that he paid for an underage girl for sex and solicited prostitutes. Gaetz has denied all wrongdoing, and we've just learned he is suing to try to block the report's release. On Wednesday, Gaetz preemptively rebutted the report, posting in part, quote, "In my single days, I often sent funds to women I dated, even some I never dated, but who asked. I dated several of these women for years. I never had sexual contact with someone under 18. He added, quote, "It's embarrassing, though not criminal, that I probably partied, womanized, drank, and smoked more than I should have earlier in life. I live a different life now." Joining us now is NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles. Ryan, where do we stand with this report, and do we think he's going to be able to successfully block it in court before it's set to be released, like any minute now?
Yeah, we are, Christina, furiously refreshing the Ethics Committee's website to see if and when that report will be released today. We do expect it to be released today at some point. Exactly when is not clear. We know that the House Ethics Committee voted in a secret meeting a couple of weeks ago to reverse course and release the report, despite the fact that Gaetz had already left Congress, and the fact that they have kind of a tradition, not necessarily a precedent, where they do not release reports on former members of Congress. And of course, you'll remember that Gaetz stepped down from Congress when he was asked to be the Attorney General in Donald Trump's upcoming administration. He subsequently then stepped down from being considered as the next Attorney General and is now poised to become an anchor at a right-wing news network. So we already see Gaetz actively involved on social media this morning, pre-butting some of the claims that are made in the ethics report, as there have been some draft versions of the report that have been reported by other outlets. NBC News has chose to wait until the official report is released before we reveal any of that information. But when it comes out, Christina, we are expected to see some kind of meat behind some of these accusations that have been dogging Matt Gaetz throughout his entire time in Congress. Of course, there are the accusations that he engaged in sex with an underage girl, something that he has vehemently denied. There are accusations that he paid for sex on a regular basis, accusations that he vehemently denies. And what the House Ethics Committee was trying to determine was whether or not his conduct not only violated the House ethics laws, ethics rules, I should say, which are a bit more stringent than a criminal law would be. The members of the House of Representatives are expected to live up to a standard that is just a little bit greater than that of just basic criminal law, but also whether or not they discovered any evidence that they believe would lead him to be charged criminally, either at the state or federal level. Now, remember, Gaetz has repeatedly pointed to the fact that federal investigators conducted a lengthy investigation into him and determined that they did not want to proceed or prosecute him. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they exonerated him. It just basically meant that they did not feel as though that they could win the case in a court of law.